Understanding the concept of the generation gap. The generation gap refers to the profound differences in values, opinions, and behaviors separating older and younger age groups. These discrepancies commonly emerge due to evolving social, cultural, and economic circumstances over the span of decades. As people mature under distinct historical conditions, they naturally cultivate unique perspectives on life, career, and interpersonal relationships. While older generations might emphasize tradition and continuity, younger cohorts often gravitate toward modern technology and global cultural trends. Such contrasts can influence how family members communicate, understand one another, and sustain their bonds. Subtle tensions frequently surface in matters like personal conduct, career aspirations, or attitudes toward novel technological devices. As societies progress, individuals adapt at varying speeds, and this uneven evolution may trigger friction or bewilderment. Recognizing the roots of the generation gap allows us to comprehend why others perceive and approach the world differently. Such awareness can foster respect, enhance empathy, and illuminate shared interests amid apparent divergences. Far from a novel phenomenon, the generation gap has endured throughout history, though modern media and technology have magnified it. Rapid innovation has often left older individuals feeling distanced from younger lifestyles, while younger people may sense that their elders misunderstand them. Many families endeavor to reconcile these disparities, struggling to preserve both cherished traditions and an atmosphere of harmonious change. Shifting cultural norms, fluid gender roles, and new forms of social interaction also influence these generational divides. Yet the existence of a generation gap need not be construed as a weakness. It is instead an organic product of societal evolution. Each generation contributes distinctive strengths, hurdles, and insights to the human narrative. Embracing these differences enables communities to benefit from a dynamic interplay of ideas and visions. By acknowledging and exploring the generation gap, families can enhance their communication and foster deeper mutual understanding. Ultimately, this gap represents an ongoing dialogue between the past, the present, and the future, guiding society toward continuous renewal. Historical context and shifting values. Throughout the centuries, younger generations have questioned ancestral customs and contested long-standing assumptions. In earlier times, many societies exhibited stability, transmitting values and traditions with minimal alteration. The onset of industrialization and modernization accelerated social changes, prompting ever more rapid transformations in attitudes and priorities. The youth of each epoch often discovered opportunities previously unimaginable to their parents, reshaping expectations. Major historical events, world wars, economic depressions, and political upheavals have frequently amplified generational differences. Globalization, mass media, and enhanced communication technologies open doors to cultural and intellectual exchanges across borders. Each generation redefines certain societal standards and reconstructs the idea of what is normal, acceptable, or inspiring. As travel and communication became more accessible, exposure to diverse viewpoints shaped young people's minds. Older relatives may have struggled to appreciate new artistic forms, experimental music, or radical political ideologies. Over time, shifting values challenged inherited social structures, unsettled conventional gender roles, and propelled novel career trajectories. Traditional norms encountered fresh scrutiny, setting the stage for friction between cohorts raised in disparate contexts. Rural traditions confronted the allure of urban modernity, creating distance between those who valued continuity and those enchanted by innovation. Inventions, cultural trends, and societal upheavals regularly widened the chasm between parents and their offspring. While older generations sometimes forget their own youthful rebellions, younger groups continually reimagine what the world can be. This cycle of questioning and reform confirms that generational gaps are natural byproducts of humanity's perpetual advancement. Studying historical patterns reveals that our ancestors faced similar misunderstandings and tensions. Gaining a historical perspective helps us recognize that evolving standards are inevitable rather than a sign of moral decline. When families grasp these broader narratives, they may approach each other's perspectives with empathy and a willingness to engage. Each generation inherits a foundation built by predecessors but endeavors to craft its own identity. In doing so, we can unite lessons from the past with innovations of the present to forge a more harmonious future. Family life and daily interactions. Within the family home, the generation gap can materialize during mundane exchanges and shared moments. Grandparents often find it perplexing that their grandchildren spend so much time engaged with digital gaming platforms or social media. Parents may disapprove of their children's evolving fashion sensibilities, contemporary slang, or obsessive use of personal devices. Conversely, younger family members might dismiss ancestral anecdotes of hardship and perseverance as irrelevant relics of a different era. These subtle points of friction accumulate, occasionally creating tension or discomfort at gatherings intended for unity. What were once simple family meals designed to reinforce mutual understanding may become settings for subtle conflict. While elders reminisce about periods characterized by simplicity and stability, their stories sometimes fail to resonate with younger audiences. Younger generations, bombarded by digital distractions and fluid social mores, can seem distant and impatient. Miscommunication arises when older individuals assume that younger relatives share their cultural references and interpret events similarly. Younger family members, meanwhile, may underestimate how alien and intimidating modern technology appears to their elders. In certain scenarios, grandparents impart hard-won wisdom drawn from decades of experience, only to be met with skepticism or disinterest. Children might perceive their elders' guidance as outdated and misaligned with current realities. Cultural differences, especially in immigrant families, further complicate these generational gaps by layering language barriers and transplanted traditions. Parents worry that their offspring will lose touch with ancestral customs, while children adapt to new environments with ease. When family members practice attentive listening and show curiosity about one another's viewpoints, tension can diminish. The key lies in balancing tradition with innovation, allowing both old and young to feel valued. Narrating personal histories and explaining the rationale behind particular preferences fosters mutual respect. If families view generational differences as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles, they can cultivate richer, more meaningful bonds. Technology's role in widening or bridging the gap. Technology wields enormous influence over generational dynamics. Older generations often find advanced devices, intricate social networks, and digital tools overwhelmingly complex. Younger cohorts, having grown up amid rapid technological progress, navigate these landscapes with ease. Communication patterns diverge. While younger people rely heavily on texting or instant messaging, older relatives may cling to phone calls or face-to-face discussions. This disconnect in communication style can breed misunderstandings and frustration. Older adults frequently worry about safeguarding their privacy, as younger individuals share personal details online without hesitation. Social media drives youth culture, disseminating memes, linguistic shortcuts, and ephemeral trends that can feel alien to elders. Older family members may struggle to understand why younger relatives are so consumed by digital platforms and online content. At the same time, technology can serve as a bridge. Video calls allow grandparents to witness their grandchildren's growth, even from distant locations. Online educational resources help retirees acquire new skills, remaining intellectually active and relevant. Intergenerational tech workshops bring youthful instructors together with curious older learners. Smart home devices may empower older individuals to maintain independence, managing daily tasks more easily. Shared online pursuits, from virtual cooking classes to genealogy research, can become a communal space connecting disparate generations. If approached with patience and empathy, technology becomes a common ground rather than a divider. When family members help each other learn new digital skills, they build trust and camaraderie. In this way, technology can either exacerbate generational rifts or help close them, depending on the attitude and effort invested by both sides. Education, career choices, and ambitions. Differences in educational values and professional aspirations often reflect larger generational divides. Older generations, shaped by economic uncertainties and traditional family models, may prioritize secure and stable career paths. Younger individuals, encouraged by global connectivity, often aspire to flexible, innovative professions that promote creativity and personal fulfillment. Parents who struggled to achieve financial security may push their children toward traditional, respectable careers. Younger generations, however, may rebel against these expectations, favoring passion-driven endeavors despite uncertain outcomes. Tensions emerge when discussing university majors, unconventional job opportunities, and alternative career trajectories. Older relatives may view new fields, digital marketing, influencer branding, app development, as frivolous or insubstantial. Meanwhile, younger cohorts find some conventional corporate roles unappealing, preferring professions that integrate personal values and dynamic skill sets. Educational systems themselves evolve as younger generations question standardized testing and rigid curricula, seeking learning experiences aligned with their interests. Easy access to online courses, international internships, and global networks expands the horizons of younger job seekers. Without proper understanding, these shifts in attitude and opportunity bewilder older family members. Conflict intensifies when parents insist upon traditional metrics of success, unaware of emerging industries or skill requirements. Young people may resent pressure that dismisses their desire for autonomy and meaning in their professional lives. Nevertheless, younger generations sometimes fail to appreciate the benefits of older adults' guidance. Embracing mentorship and dialogue can reconcile stability with innovation, merging long-term wisdom with fresh perspectives. Mutual respect and open communication about career ambitions create more supportive family ecosystems. By acknowledging that each generation faces distinct economic landscapes and cultural pressures, empathy and cooperation can flourish. Lifestyle differences and leisure activities. Generational gaps often manifest in divergent lifestyle preferences and leisure pursuits. Younger individuals gravitate towards streaming services, immersive gaming, and digital entertainment communities. Older generations are often more inclined to enjoy activities rooted in tradition, such as gardening, board games, or communal gatherings. Tastes in music, art, and fashion evolve swiftly, leaving some elders perplexed by youth subcultures. Culinary trends also shift as younger people explore fusion cuisines, street foods, and international flavors. Older adults, on the other hand, might cherish family recipes, comfort foods, and the rituals of communal meals. Fitness habits diverge as well, with younger generations embracing virtual exercise classes and wearable technology, while older individuals might prefer sports clubs or leisurely walks. Travel styles differ, as younger adventurers often seek cultural immersion and spontaneous exploration, while older travelers gravitate toward well-structured tours and reliable itineraries. Younger people may have limited time to relax due to demanding schedules, whereas older adults can enjoy a slower pace of life, albeit guided by more traditional interests. Discovering shared pursuits through communication and open-minded exploration can dismantle these lifestyle barriers. Intergenerational clubs, arts workshops, or cooking sessions can bring family members closer. By sampling each other's hobbies, everyone expands their horizons, fostering understanding rather than conflict. Recognizing the merits of classic tunes or the ingenuity behind digital games can transform differences into enrichment. Over time, distinct tastes can coexist, each group appreciating the variety that different generations contribute. Cultural expectations, traditions, and identity. Cultural traditions and inherited customs lie at the heart of many generational tensions. Older generations strive to preserve ancestral practices as essential components of cultural identity. Younger family members may question these rituals, deeming them outdated or irrelevant in a globalized era. Conflicts arise over holiday celebrations, religious observances, and ceremonial attire, highlighting the tension between continuity and evolution. For some young people, traditional clothing or language requirements feel burdensome rather than meaningful. Others, however, embrace the opportunity to maintain a living connection to their heritage, ensuring it endures. Immigrant families grapple with layered complexities, navigating both age-related and cultural differences in new homelands. Children born or raised abroad may feel detached from traditions that lack immediate relevance to their everyday experiences. Elders fear cultural dilution and the loss of ancestral roots, while younger generations balance identities shaped by multiple influences. Yet culture is never static. It morphs, adapts, and integrates with new contexts. Younger generations often forge hybrid identities, blending familiar elements with contemporary sensibilities. Sincere, intergenerational conversations can illuminate the history and significance behind long-standing traditions. Elders can share personal stories that humanize rituals, while younger listeners can suggest modern interpretations. This collaborative approach allows families to retain meaningful core values while adapting customs to contemporary realities. Understanding that cultural identity evolves over time mitigates resentment. Neither generation must entirely surrender its perspective. Instead, they can harmonize tradition and change, ensuring that cultural legacies thrive rather than diminish. Communication styles and language use. Differences in communication styles and language usage frequently mirror the broader generational divide. Older adults may esteem formality, clear diction, and courteous conversational etiquette, viewing language as a refined art. Younger people employ slang, abbreviations, emojis, and visual symbols reflecting the influence of digital media. These linguistic patterns can mystify or annoy older relatives who might perceive them as disrespectful or careless. On the other hand, younger speakers often consider strict adherence to formality as unnecessarily rigid or disconnected from everyday realities. Cultural and technological changes spur language evolution, encouraging brevity and informality in rapid digital exchanges. Nonverbal cues, tone of voice, and body language also differ across generations. In order to alleviate misunderstandings, both sides must appreciate that language is malleable, shaped by time and circumstances. Embracing curiosity and patience can transform annoyance into an enriching linguistic exchange. Parents might learn about fresh expressions from their children, while older phrases and idioms can intrigue younger minds. Workshops, family activities, or humorous storytelling sessions can cultivate mutual appreciation for evolving communication forms. When everyone practices attentive listening and respects diverse expressions, dialogue becomes more inclusive. Adapting one's manner of speaking, depending on the audience, fosters trust and rapport across generations. Social issues, politics, and generational perspectives. Generational differences often emerge starkly in discussions of politics, social issues, and public policy. Older generations may align with established institutions, placing faith in incremental reforms and traditional leadership. Younger people, shaped by contemporary crises, often demand swift and radical changes to address urgent challenges. Climate change, social justice movements, economic inequality, and digital privacy are frequent sources of disagreement. Young activists might assert that older policies and approaches are too slow or too cautious, while elders counsel patience and stability. Contrasting worldviews are partly shaped by lived experience. Those who remember scarcity may emphasize prudent resource management, while youth envision a more flexible, inclusive world. Media consumption also influences perceptions. Older adults tend to rely on legacy news outlets, while younger audiences gather information online, often from diverse and unconventional sources. This divergence can produce conflicting interpretations of facts and events, exacerbating misunderstandings. To bridge these differences, families must engage in respectful, well-informed discussions. Focusing on shared values, integrity, fairness, compassion, can soften ideological rifts. Intergenerational dialogue can yield balanced solutions, blending historical perspective with innovative policy ideas. By listening to each other's stories, both sides glean essential lessons. Older individuals can recall the importance of perseverance, while younger voices can inspire courageous adaptation. When generations combine wisdom and creativity, society attains a more holistic approach to problem solving. Emotional well-being and mental health considerations. Emotional well-being and mental health practices differ across generations, partly due to changing societal attitudes. Older adults grew up in times when mental health issues were stigmatized, often unspoken or misunderstood. Younger generations openly discuss anxiety, depression, and emotional wellness, normalizing therapy, mindfulness, and self-care routines. This openness can feel disconcerting to elders, who may interpret it as vulnerability or indulgence. Yet younger individuals seek proactive strategies to manage stress, valuing authenticity and healing. Older generations often relied on familial support and inner resilience, concealing hardship behind stoicism. Modern youth recognize that professional help, empathy, and honest conversations can facilitate healthier coping mechanisms. Educating older relatives about mental health topics and encouraging empathetic dialogue fosters intergenerational understanding. Younger family members, in turn, can learn from the endurance and strength older adults cultivated under different circumstances. Shared activities, relaxation techniques, balanced discussions, or group exercises can bridge these emotional divides. Acknowledging that each generation faces fears, struggles, and uncertainties encourages mutual compassion. When everyone regards mental health with respect and openness, families forge stronger emotional connections. Bridging the gap through mutual understanding. Overcoming the generation gap requires deliberate effort, empathy, and sincerity. Each generation must recognize that its worldview is not definitive, but rather one facet of a larger human narrative. Younger people can absorb valuable lessons from older individuals' accumulated experience. Elders can admire the ambition, adaptability, and global awareness that characterize youth. Identifying common ground, shared tastes in music, culinary experimentation, recreational sports, or creative arts helps transcend differences. Intergenerational mentorship programs, cultural workshops, and family storytelling sessions foster respect and camaraderie. Younger members might guide elders through digital platforms, while older ones provide insights into resilience, moral principles, and life balance. Volunteering together or traveling as a family encourages cultural exchange and strengthens bonds. Formal initiatives and informal gatherings alike can focus on bridging these gaps through understanding rather than confrontation. Approaching these interactions with curiosity, humor, patience, and grace paves the way for authentic connections. As trust grows, stereotypes and preconceived notions fade, revealing the richness that emerges when generations learn from each other. Moving forward together across generations. Looking ahead, minimizing the generation gap is essential for cohesive, forward-looking societies. As technology evolves at unprecedented speeds, today's youth will eventually guide tomorrow's children, imparting lessons learned from their own era. This cyclical process ensures that intergenerational understanding remains an ongoing priority. By embracing open dialogue and fostering intergenerational partnerships, communities can adapt smoothly to inevitable changes. Educational institutions, community centers, and cultural organizations can host exchange programs that celebrate age diversity. Positive media representations of harmonious intergenerational relationships inspire broader societal appreciation. Government policies supporting mentorship, lifelong learning, and civic participation can further strengthen these bonds. When families allow traditions to evolve without losing their essence, cultural continuity coexists with progress. Future societal shifts may be even more dramatic, but flexible thinking, empathy, and collective intelligence will ease the transition. Confronting global challenges like environmental crises or inequality requires the combined wisdom, vigor, and perspective of all age groups. Younger generations must value elders' foundational contributions, while older individuals must encourage the transformative visions of youth. When all generations collaborate, society harnesses a comprehensive wealth of knowledge and insight. In this synergy, the generation gap transforms into a creative tension that fuels innovation, compassion, and collective growth.